Hey everybody, welcome back to another film of the week. Hope you guys have been enjoying the content on the channel as of late. This film of the week is on the road because getting some food for my family, and FYI, just in case anything were to occur, family right now, one family member right now is dealing with the flu, so I don't know how that's going to impact me in particular. I've been doing my best to stay away, but just in case anything were to happen, just we might be just doing the phone, or again there might be a period where we might not have some a load of content available, but for right now it seems that everything's going to be okay, but just an FYI. But let's get into our film of the week, though, because this one is rather unique, and I thought we had talked about it already, but I guess we haven't. We've discussed this director before, the director being Alex Garland, but I wanted to discuss, I believe, his feature debut, or at least his official feature debut. That film being Ex Machina, which of course was written, I believe, and also directed by Alex Garland. And for anybody who knows their history in regards to Alex Garland, the reason why I say his official feature debut is because the history revolving Dredd. I believe I think it's just called Dredd because there's the Stallone version from the 90s, which is called Judge Dredd, but the remake, or the reimagination, whatever type it is, that one was allegedly directed by him, even though it's directed by somebody else. So, but this being I believe his first official feature debut, distributed by A24, released in 2014/2015, depending on the time of which you saw it. Starring Oscar Isaac and Domhnall Gleeson, who would both actually appear in Star Wars a year or so after. Follows Domhnall Gleeson's character, who actually wins a contest and goes to Oscar Isaac's house, and Oscar Isaac is a kind of like a bum almost. He's drinking, doesn't really seem like the genius that seems to be the revolving factor around his character. Kind of subverting the expectations of sorts of what we're supposed to see as like genius-like characters. And he comes to, actually, Oscar is like one of his private homes or something like that, and in the concert or the contest, he gets to stay in for, I think, like a week or so, and attend to Oscar Isaac's newest and boldest invention yet, in the form of an AI played by Alicia Vikander. And Domhnall Gleeson gets the opportunity to speak and communicate with such AI and get to develop a personality and get to understand their emotional sensibilities. And through these interactions that Domhnall Gleeson has with Alicia Vikander, there slowly but surely seems to be more at play than Domhnall Gleeson was led on. So, and through the interactions with the AI, perhaps there is deception, perhaps there is manipulation at play, and what you get from it is pretty much exactly as I described about a film about manipulation and deception. And the first thing that I have to say about it is that I love the isolated nature of it. I think that it definitely produces the paranoia that is at play within Domhnall Gleeson's character, as we are to view it from his perspective. I think that the isolated quality that the film possesses definitely enhances the some of the uncertainty that is within Domhnall Gleeson's point of view. And I mean, mean, aesthetically also it's very interesting. I like the architecture, type of edge that the house has, and there's obviously an emphasis on technology and our relationship to that technology and what it means to embed that technology with some of our personality, that our type of influence, what that might do, in terms of just the relationships to that. It could actually turn things for the worse instead of actually building bridges. And you get there's a few things to Ex Machina that make it work really well. Firstly is the performances at the center of it. I think each of them do solid work. Specifically Alicia Vikander, I think that voice wise it's very very on point to what I would think of when if I'm speaking to an AI. That's the kind of voice that I would expect to hear. Very just monotone, soft, and yet within that inflection, within the way that she is presenting the voice, there's still suggestions to emotion, and you can interpret the little subtle nature of just how she's feeling at that moment, where she might feel anger, she might feel happiness, she might feel this and that. And as the film goes on, you really get more of who she actually is and what her motive is, and deepens our understanding of that specific character. And generally speaking, with all the characters, in that all the characters all play to that sort of idea of manipulation and deception. Even Domhnall Gleeson's character has a part to that as well. It's very intelligent in how it deals with its ideas. Very carefully plotted, and is more concerned with the presentation of its ideas and in how it also wants to present its narrative at the same time. So it's not a film that's like trying to flatter you with like certain aesthetics or certain style or what have you, which I would argue is what his last film, Men, ultimately was, which was just him just kind of flirting with us stylistically and more or less just being flat as a result. But with this, I think that he just is squarely focused on the narrative and about the nature of his characters and how that all binds and correlates to the ideas of the film. And what you get is something really solid, really enthralling, really investing. I was really engaged with just the characters, just the developments at play, the overall mood of the film. I like this very calming yet unnerving quality. That's there's a build of tension at the as an added layer. And it's very subtle, and it becomes much more dominant as time moves on and as more information becomes more apparent and more when things start to unveil themselves. It's really involving, and it really made me excited to see Alex Garland branch out more as a filmmaker. And I think that he did good work in his second outing of Annihilation. Unfortunately, Men just didn't really come together for me as much, because he became more and more concerned with framing and concerned with style and with ambiguity also to a certain extent that didn't really feel earnest as it does just more flirty, hey, check this out, On my way home right now, and I was just thinking when I said ambiguity in the review, I remember that because I was trying to remember my thoughts on Men, and I actually remember Men being very straightforward. It was about male toxicity and all that, because I was trying to remember that I wouldn't say ambiguous now, but like it just seems like his mentalities, his overall just approaches to film are not as consistent or as solid as Ex Machina or Annihilation. Men just felt like a big departure from Alex Garland, or at least just didn't really work. And his next film coming up, Civil War, just seems very convoluted. So that would be like how my impression of Alex Garland. I don't know why I just remembered my thoughts on Men. So just wanted to put this in the review just because I just remembered. I was like, oh yeah, actually Men's pretty straightforward. So I wouldn't say he's leaning more on ambiguity as he is just lacking in creativity. So I'll just put this in here somewhere, just because I just remembered. So, but back to the review. Where Hero Ex Machina, it is all to play to ideas and all to play to story, and less so to a certain style or a certain presentation. And because of that, you're just really engaged, and the story it hits, it lands. It doesn't just feel surface level, because it has that potential to be once you kind of like when you get maybe the idea at play. But the great thing about Ex Machina is that it is not so it's not so loud in its ideas. It's very, very quiet and very subtle in its ideas. You get suggestions to what it is, and then ultimately when certain things become more present, certain motives become more dominant, it's a film that knows how to build not only in tone but also in information. So and with that, you're just continuously engaged. It's not like a film that's just like, it's like I said, with Men or something like that, where it's like, we're not really going to tell you what's going on and we'll hope that that's enough. It's a film that goes, okay, we won't tell you really what's going on right now, but later on, when we have built things up, when we've developed the characters, when we have developed the overall drama, the circumstance, then we will make our ideas a little bit more known, a little more, and boom, here's the idea. Like, I like that. I like that structure in presenting its concept, and it really worked for me. So it's one of the better pieces of science fiction that we've had in years. I think that the overall layout of the story, the characters, the performances, the build and tension, and the overall build in idea, just getting us to that point of what this idea is about Ex Machina and manipulation and deception. Because when you go back to it, it just becomes so much more apparent, but as your first viewing, it's not as recognizable because of how solid the craftsmanship is and how committed it is to being a certain in the volume of such message. It starts out really low but then builds gradually. It's like someone cranking the volume literally on like a radio dial. It's like, okay, it's kind of soft, let's crank it up a little bit, and it just goes like this, instead of in what would be like Men or something else, just always silent, and we're left to wonder what's really going on and do I really care. So I really, really like this movie. I really, really do. I think it's really, really well crafted, and like I said, one of the better pieces of science fiction. It just, I gravitate a lot back to it, especially by just design of like the look of Alicia Vikander's character. I think is very unique. The overall look of the film, I think, is very unique. Very sharp, but yet has a sort of a calming edge to it, which plays again to the idea of deception. Once you get the gist of what Ex Machina is about, everything just plays really well to its message. And it's not there for certain individual purposes. It's all there for to give weight to the idea at play once you get the idea of what it's about. So I may have potentially spoiled it for some of you guys, but I probably should have had a spoiler warning at the beginning of this. But yeah, really, really great. If you have not seen it, please check it out. It's really good. I believe it's on HBO Max right now, so check it out when you guys get a chance to. It's really, really good stuff. Definitely the best that Alex Garland did. And if you want to see a lesser version of that, watch Men. If you want to see something kind of on the same league, but not really, watch Annihilation. But if you want to see someone in their prime, really knowing what they're doing and maintaining a solid control of their narrative and of their production, and having all these components really complement and really serve for one specific purpose, and less so to do with like floaty like nature, like, oh, we're just going to do it for this, we're just going to do it for that. Everything feels like it's in marriage and not in like some like, you know, like not everyone's like kind of doing whatever they want to do sort of thing. Like it's really, really involving, and I really enjoyed myself when watching it. So yeah, so those are my thoughts on Ex Machina. I think this is great. I think this is really, really good stuff, and yeah, just really, really good. So, and definitely one of A24's better films, generally speaking. So, but you guys know your thoughts on Ex Machina. If you guys have seen it, in the comment section below, your thoughts on Alex Garland, between all of his films, the 3 that he has directed. Let me know your favorite. Personally, for me, it's Ex Machina, and then it just goes down from there. Number 2 would be Annihilation, and then 3 would be Men. But you guys will know your thoughts. And I believe he has a new film coming out this year, Civil War. Not really that interested, to be honest. I think it looks pretty convoluted. Like I said, like as time has gone on, it seems like he's concerned more with ambiguity and less with, you know, giving us solid answers to his films. And now he's diving into politics, and his politics, in the nature of how he operates as a filmmaker now, it just seems very convoluted. But it's just to say that it's moving more in what I see of him, or, you know, devolving, less evolving. But let me know your thoughts, all Alex Garland and Ex Machina, in the comment section below. And that's gonna be it for this video, guys. Thank you guys for tuning in, and until then, I will catch you guys in the next video. Bye.